So since we have no free agency news on JK, or pretty much in general, I need to speak about something that I've noticed in JK's game pretty much since his rookie season. The amount of times that this guy gets stripped is insane. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it means when the defender slaps the ball down, meaning when you're about to pick the ball up and you're getting ready to go up and shoot, instead of the defender blocking you, they swipe down to meet the ball going up. This happens to JK in pretty much all scenarios: drives, post-ups, and pull-ups. The thing is, this is actually a pretty easy fix for him when it comes to driving to the rim. Whenever he beats a smaller defender going to the basket, he tends to rock the ball in front of him by his waist. That's way too easy for low guards to get up in there and slap it down. It's almost like you're handing the ball to them. So what he needs to do is either actively keep the ball away, and he can do that by keeping it at his hip, or he can keep it up high and above his head so little guards pretty much have no chance of getting to the ball. Someone that does a good job of this is Jaden McDaniels. You'll see him do this a ton on his drives. Kuminga needs to take a page out of his book because he can convert on so many more of his drives if he just does this one thing. Early in the season when he dropped 33 against Houston, this is the game where Steph and Dre were out, and a lot of his drives in that game were just him protecting the ball and keeping it up high. That's real progression in his game. Just little things like that can make such a big difference. It's just the consistency is not exactly there. Now if he beats his defender going to the rim fully, then he needs to extend the ball out so the defender can't poke it away from behind. If you keep it close to your body right at your stomach, defensive guards nowadays can sneak their arms almost in between your arm and the ball and knock it down. Now if you extend it out and they try to reach around, then they're going to catch your arms and it's going to be a foul and one. Now if he's driving through a gap, he's got to practice different pickups like sweeping it low like Anthony Edwards, or tucking it like a running back, or swinging it over the top like Donovan Mitchell. The funny thing is, JK loves the low swing step. That's like one of his signature moves, yet he never really does it correctly. He needs to apply the same type of move when driving through a gap. Now on post-ups is the real issue here because he's not no powerhouse player down the post. He struggles to really bump and create any kind of separation down on the block. This is important because if you don't bump and create space, the defender can just close all that space into you and swipe the ball down. If you do decide to bump and knock your defender off balance, and even if you create just inches of separation, that's a bigger distance for them to cover. JK rarely does this, which is why you never really see him score on post-ups. The most he'll do is probably jab and go to the rim. But JK also doesn't shoot different shot paths. He typically only shoots up the middle. Great players can shoot up the left or the right side of their body to avoid getting their shot slapped down by active defenders. A guy like Kyrie Irving is a master at doing this, and this is something that JK lacks in, which also extends over to pull-ups. Being able to shoot a pull-up with a different shot path is also important, especially when you're like methodically working downhill, where the big's in a drop, you got a defender trailing on your backside, you might have some gap defenders stunting down, you gotta be able to get a shot off in tight areas. But another thing he doesn't have is space creation. Being able to step back, stop on a dime, or snatch back to create space by using the defender's momentum against him to rise up without getting stripped. That's something that JK also needs. But to be honest, this one isn't really surprising, even though JK does play on the perimeter, but he's not a good ball handler. He's never been a north to south kind of player. Plus, he has never really had any elite perimeter skill or jump shooting ability. So all in all, JK does possess some type of upside. It was proven this year in the playoffs that against a favorable matchup in Minnesota, he can produce as a shot creator. But honestly, I don't know what the upside is. I doubt it's any all-star level. And if he does reach it, it's probably some fringe all-star level. But if he himself and his baby daddy Joe Lacob views himself as this top young player in the league with a ton of potential, he's gotta fix this part of his game. Like these clips that I'm showing y'all, I was able to pull these clips since his rookie season. He's about to be in year 5, and he can't be no star if things like this are still happening at this stage. And again, this is something that he can easily fix. He can just lock in with his trainer in the gym, and they can get this done easily.